Hello, Frank here. Time to do my Food City 500 long race review and deep dive. Um, let's start with the front row. Front row for this race was Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick, who got the front row. Both have been proven to be good with this new package. Tyler Reddick is not known to be very good at short tracks, but he was told that he has to find a way to improve by Denny Hamlin. And what a way to start, by starting on the outside of the front row. There was a few cautions. I think we had 7, excluding the stage breaks. We had 7 natural cautions of the race. Ryan Blaney led the first 44 laps. Then he was passed by Kyle Larson, who went on to lead 284 total laps, the most of anybody else in the field. Ryan Blaney led a total of 190 laps in this race. Ty Gibbs, your eventual winner, congratulations to him to his first win, led 25 laps. Other lap leaders was Chase Elliott, who led 6 laps. They ran 505 laps due to a green white checkered attempt. Before the race, they did put down more traction compound to put more bite in the bottom of the groove, to give the bottom groove a more dominant chance. Going in this race this weekend, they had a new left side and right side tire combination. It was designed to be not so temperature sensitive, but would put rubber down on the track. It did lay down rubber on the racetrack. You could see it as it went on throughout the day, but there's no big chunks and no extreme wearing, so that was the plus there. But in my opinion, it didn't wear enough. It happened in stage 1. You had Josh Berry and I think Chase Elliott, who stayed out on 90 plus I think almost 90 laps, maybe 50 laps, I'm not sure exactly, but nevertheless, they had older tires. They were only to stay out, and they managed to stay in the top 20. And Josh Berry managed to stay in the top 10 on old tires when they were surrounded by new tires. I'm sorry, but if there was like 75 laps left in stage 1 or so, I'm putting at least 2 tires on for strategy, because if there's the off chance that this stays green, well, guess what? You're going to have old tires and fall in the back if you didn't change any tires. Ultimately, Chase Elliott did fall back, but he didn't fall back like 20 in the 20s, but he fell back. But it needs to wear out more, in my opinion. This tire needs to do some more wear. But the package is much closer to what I would like to see. Some tweaks here and there, of course, but I think we're very close. If we can, probably what's left is probably in the tire, maybe. Maybe that would make a tire that wears more, a little bit more, not a drastic, but enough to know that, hey, if it's 5 laps to go in the race and I stay out, at least I'll have a fighting chance of getting the win. Versus if it's 100 laps to go in the race and I'd stay out and I still finish at the top 10 at the end of the stage or end of the race, and it's like the track surface eats tires, or at least more so than like a new surface, shouldn't be like that. Anywho, let's move on to the race. Kyle Larson, for the biggest part of the race, was the car to beat, bar none. But the fastest overall car was Ryan Blaney. He had pit mistakes, slow pit stops that kept him from staying up front. It caused him to have to go through a few cars every single restart. But it wasn't for that, I'd say they would probably, him and Larson probably would have almost broke even with laps led in this race. And Kyle Larson probably would have faded, at least from the lead sooner. As the race went on, Ty Gibbs got stronger. They dropped the green flag. He dropped into the mid-teens from, I think, top 5 starting position. So he didn't have the best car, but they weren't out for lunch. They didn't drop like a rock. but that by the end of the race they were a top three car with what drivers were left. Another driver probably would have been in top five, maybe even a challenger for the race win, was Christopher Bell. He was moving through the field and had during pit stops he had a pit road speeding penalty, put him in the back. Well, while he was back there, I guess he was trying too hard, trying to make up ground, slapped the wall, got loose and lost the lid, and slapped the wall, broke his toe link. Put him 4 laps down. He was a non-factor the remainder of the race. He actually ended up hitting the wall again later in the race. I think he was just trying too hard at that point, or maybe they didn't have the handle on it. Speaking of drivers that was in the back of non-factor, you had William Byron, who I think he originally started. Let's see here. He originally started 34th. Not a very good starting position as is, but had to go drop to the back of the field due to changing the rack and pinion steering in the car, which is an approved adjustment by NASCAR. So that dropped him back, and by the end of stage 1, he was 2 laps down. So he was pulling a Joe Logano at Darlington, being a non-factor. Well, as far as Hendrick concerned, they were all out to lunch. Although Alex Bowman didn't have a chance to really do anything, but he was in the late 20s when he got caught up in the wreck of not his doing. But other than Kyle Larson, they were all out to lunch as far as Hendrick's quality is concerned. Let's see. There's a lot more cautions later in the race than there was after stage 2. I think we had 4 cautions and just stage 2 alone, natural cautions. And between stage 1 and stage 2, we had 2. Okay. Yeah, we had 2. And stage 1, we had 1. A little bit more cautions at the end. A little bit more cautions than I thought there was going to be, but it still has some green aspects in the race. Let's see. Let's talk about Kyle Busch and Riley Herbst. About partway through the race, Riley Herbst, intentionally or unintentionally, spun out Kyle Busch, creating a caution. Well, about 100 and some laps later, Riley Herbst gets loose, and instead of checking up to give Riley Herbst a chance, Kyle Busch just said, "Nah, man, you spun me, so you figure it out," and spun him out. Well, you wreck me, I wreck you. It's only fair. Kyle Larson swept the stages. He won stage 1 and stage 2, almost the max points. The only point he didn't get was the point for fastest lap, which I do believe went to Ryan Blaney. Let's see. Connor Zilic had another poor showing in this race. He ended up being several laps down. I think he was also caught up in a couple incidents too, but ultimately, I mean, he's still trying to get used to it. And I have my own reservations of what NASCAR should do with way this next gen car is. If they want to stick to it, they need to do some realignments with the lower series. My opinion, they should treat O'Reilly series as a co-lead series and make it to where a Cup driver can't race any races in O'Reilly and vice versa. Have them be more co-lead series, with ARCA being a feeder series to O'Reilly because their cars are more similar than the other two cars. The trucks is very similar to the Cup cars, and the drivers who jump up from the truck goes to Cup tends to do better out of the gate. Prime example, Carson Hocevar. Yes, he hasn't won, but he's showing some real speed in a mid-pack team. He should be finishing late teens, early 20s every race, but he's in here sneaking top 10s, top 15s if he's not wrecked out or wreck himself. So, your finishing order, we're going to do the top 20. You got Ty Gibbs, who won. Then behind him is Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick is in 4th. Chase Briscoe, that's your top 5. Todd Gilliland, Joe Logano, Ryan Preece, Denny Hamlin, and Carson Hocevar, that's your top 10. Then you had Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, and A.J. Allmendinger your top 15. The last car in the lead lap, Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Dillon, Zane Smith, and Ross Chastain rounding out your top 20. Your point standings after this, according to Racing Reference, Tyler Reddick has a 62-point lead over Ryan Blaney, 86 points ahead of Hamlin, who's in third. Ty Gibbs has moved up to fourth and is 105 back. All those drivers are technically within 2 races, with Ryan Blaney technically being in 2, Ryan Blaney being in 1 if he does what Kyle Larson did and plus gets the fastest lap and wins the race. He could technically, and Tyler Reddick just blows up or whatever in first lap and doesn't get any points. He could technically walk out of the points lead at Kansas, technically. But the next 2 drivers are 2 races, for sure. You can even make an argument for Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. They are really kind of 2 races, but they're kind of tough. But Kyle Larson has moved up to 6th, 126 back, with Chase Elliott being 122 back. And then William Byron, after his poor run, is now 141 back at 7th. Bubba Wallace recovered to go to 8th at 150 back. And then you got Christopher Bell, 155 back. Chris Buescher is 156 back. Brad Keselowski, Joe Logano, Carson Hocevar, Ryan Preece, Daniel Suarez, and Shane Van Gisbergen rounds out your top 16. Chase Briscoe, the first one out with 1 point behind SVG, Austin Cindric, Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger, and Ross Chastain, the top 21. Overall, I give this race a 7 out of 10. It played out as well as it can, considering all the unknowns and variables that could be in this race. Overall, I thought it was a good race. Just need some more tire wear for this racetrack. And it was in a warm day today. It was in the 80s. So, who knows? Maybe the night race will be 40s, and we'll find out for sure if they bring this new tire, if it's going to be temperature sensitive or not. Comment below what you thought of this race, and like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video.